It is our yearly Q&A episode. So we asked our patrons and Discord members to send us in questions that, maybe we just don't have time for, a question from the Legion, or we get a lot of questions from the Legion, so we're not exactly to get through them all. And Q&A is a good way to do it. It's fun for everybody. We got like several hundred questions.
Yeah.
So Tom went through them and picked out a handful of I think the best ones.
Yeah.
But I can't believe it's actually been a year since our last Q&A.
Yeah, we said that last year as well.
Time is going by so fast. I need it to slow down. It's been a really good year for the show, I guess we could say.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a lot of very good episodes. Did some more live shows. We performed in an unventilated concrete box during a British heat wave, which was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't go to Belfast because it never happened.
That is true. It's unfortunately the show's canceled.
Some people would wish. Some people would wish. But yeah, do you want me to start us off with the very first Q&A question? Thank you everyone who submitted them. There was nearly 300 questions.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We should maybe do the really quick yes or no answers first. Is if a lot of people ask are we going to do an episode of X or Y?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
If I want to continue having my job, I will hypothetically have to cover every conflict until I die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like the rule they have with No Gods, No Mayors. They will cover every mayor ever.
Yeah.
But there's a specific order, and you're not allowed to know it.
Exactly. I do have the majority of the rest of this year scheduled out. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is, to include you two. Mm-hmm. But I try to work 6 months to a year out when it comes to scripts and plans. Sometimes it's just not the thing that maybe you were looking forward to. I do my best. I do listen to suggestions, but I'll get to it eventually, or I'll die trying.
Yeah, that's the short answer. But for the first real question is, congrats, you've been turned into a racehorse. What is your wacky horse name?
Shoulder hair.
You're going to get shot by the IRA like Shergar. I would pick Last Resort. Because if you're getting me to run anywhere, it's not good.
I'm going to do the thing that is the most horse-related thing I can think of, which is Pediatric Surgery Ward.
And here comes Pediatric Surgery Ward looping around shoulder hair right behind Last Resort. We really regret that the sponsor decided to name this horse.
Sponsored by Big Health Insurance. Second question. How old were you when you first started growing facial hair? I think, Joe, you were born with facial hair.
Yeah. You know how some kids are born with a full head of hair that just changes colors?
Yeah.
That was my whole body. I think I was 13. It was as soon as puberty hit.
Yeah.
It was bam, peach fuzz on my face.
This is like from the kid who's on the iPad in the back of his dad won't stop playing the fucking car, playing Lions Led by Donkeys in the car. And that's the question he asks. I was probably about 16 or 17 when I actually had to start shaving. It was noticeable enough that I had a mustache. I didn't really grow facial hair to speak of any significant volume until I was in my 20s. But I had, when I was in the army, even if I could get away with not shaving my cheeks, my chin, whatever, I had to shave the mustache. So that came in, and that's people who know me in real life know that I can grow a sick mustache, beard, not much beard to speak of. I mean, I do far better now than it was, call it say 10 years ago. But I was very enthusiastic about having to shave, but I didn't have to actually shave until I remember it was it started to look kind of nasty, fucking
that shitty teenager beard.
Yeah, well, just shitty teenager mustache in my case when I was probably about 17. Because I remember swimming one time and I had shaved the night before and it still irritated when I was in the pool. But also you got to realize I grew by the time I was 16, I was my current height. So, I'm 6 feet. But I have a photo of me and my cousin at the beach when I was almost 16. So I'd be very, very close to my current height. And if it weren't for my height, you would think I was 13 at most. I looked very, very young for my age. It's just that I grew enough to be adult height. So typically 11-year-olds aren't 6 feet tall. Maybe they are now. In the future when we give them YouTube and ultra nootropics, they will be. But
give the babies HGH.
Just a baby with a massive gut.
I turned 16 in 2000, and so back then, yeah, we didn't have Joe Rogan. We only had what is it, News Radio and fucking Fear Factor. We didn't have the real unlocked power about nootropics making you huge. So.
For me, I started shaving when I was 14, and I had to learn how to shave myself. So the first time I ever shaved, I nearly cut my lip off. because I was like,
you gotta shave off that lip hair.
yeah, because I used like one of my dad's like Mach 3 razors and didn't realize you had to use like shaving foam. So I did it with just water. And like, I didn't have a huge amount, so it came off. But like, yeah, like sliced right on the line of my lip, like completely open, blood everywhere. But like,
Nice.
like I am, I think, probably the most bearded member of the cast.
I
And
feel like I might grow mine back eventually.
you should. The last time I saw you with a proper beard was when we had that fateful trip in Dublin with Robert Evans,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I tried to kill you with alcohol poisoning.
It's true. I look even older with a beard though.
Yeah.
I don't exactly look young with that one.
I think it would work now because the last time I saw you with a beard, you didn't have hair either. You had a shaved head.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I shaved every couple of days until I was maybe like 25. So I only really like grew a beard when I was like 25. And it just like, oh, suddenly I look like a ex-member of the Dubliners for some reason.
I didn't know how to grow or trim or keep it trimmed or like work with what I've got until I was in my mid 30s because I never grew facial hair out until I moved to the UK. My wife used to say she liked it, like she thought I looked better and she thought she liked the feeling of it when I was, 4 days, 5 days without shaving, but I always shaved for my job. I did not have any other than novelty. We were allowed to grow a mustache in the field when I was in Korea, so I did. I never had facial hair. So I would have been I was 33, so it would have been about 34 when I was 33, like an almost 1 year older when we moved to London. So
In basic training, I had to shave twice a day.
I have some photos of me fucking as my beard grew out the first year of kind of figuring it out where I absolutely look like White ISIS convert. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, like I've gotten messages on Discord before because obviously like everyone knows I have a beard, but like, I do keep it quite tidy. And I've gotten a message off a handful of like trans men who've asked me for like, oh, how do I shave? Because I don't want to ask my like parents. And
Let me give you one tip in case. Just my dad, who kind of a piece of shit in a lot of ways, but did actually give me good advice. If you're shaving your mustache, he had mega thick beard. He had to shave twice a day when he was in the army. He was like, obviously hot water first, then shaving cream. Is better razors mean less cutting. Just saying, less blood. Use your tongue to put pressure in the back of your lip to kind of like, so you're not like wobbly skin, and just so it keeps it straight, and then just give that pressure behind it, and then that'll help reduce the amount you have to cut. You have to rub the razor down, and thus, obviously, if your technique is okay and you're using a decent razor, you probably won't cut yourself, but it will get irritated.
Yeah.
Like it'll just, all that. Also, aftershave will just make it more fucking irritated.
Do what I do. Wax your entire face.
Yeah, like if you get a hot towel, like get it like a face cloth or whatever, and like soak it in like really hot water from the tap, and then just kind of like wring it out a little bit and just let that like sit on your face. That will help take down irritation and like get a good moisturizer to like moisturize your face afterwards.
And what I always used to do was I would start off with hot water, like hot all over, kind of get beard wet, then clean shaving cream, razor. I wish I had a laser. That would be fucking sick. And then afterwards put cold water. I learned this from watching Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, actually, that shave before your shower. And then if your skin still feels a little bit irritated and hot from having done it, then put cold water on it afterwards. But definitely shave before the shower. Otherwise, you're gonna like, it's not like a problem, but you run the risk of it being more likely that you're gonna have like razor bumps and blocked pores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or just irritation in general, which for me, especially like jumping in a pool afterwards, just chlorine hell. Like you really don't want that.
Perfect. Well, what's the next question we got? I want this to turn to shaving corner.
The next question is, what would your clown name be? And I know mine straight away. I would be Cigarette the Clown.
Clown name.
Nate, do you have one?
I don't have one. Let me think on it.
I don't know. I don't know what actual clown names are. I mean, obviously Pagliacci, John Wayne Gacy. I don't fucking know.
I'm going to say Bud Light the Clown.
Yeah. Like imagine you were being, hired for like a kid's party and they see a very disappointing clown show up. That's why I was like Cigarette the Clown, aka I'm just like Krusty.
Yeah, you're just Krusty the Clown.
Yeah. I'll just show up. I don't know. I'm trying to think. What do you think Proof's clown name was in the D12 video for Quick Pills?
Gunshot, I think. Proof the Clown.
Yeah, Proof. That's me. I'm Proof.
Next question, and this feels a little bit targeted. What is the best way to consume a potato?
Whole and unchewing. You have to swallow the potato like a snake.
Hey, listen, I'm going by Merry and Pippin from Lord of the Rings. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Hey, you can't go wrong. Potatoes are always good.
Make a dauphinoise, make raclettes, like make it whatever way you want. It's all good.
Look at you out there fucking knowing shit about potatoes. I guess that shouldn't surprise me, but I'd never had raclette before I moved here because it's kind of their thing. So
Yeah.
there you go.